I'm going to show you a little bit about some of our site architecture for Florida Drupal Camp and how the sessions and everything is architected. So you can check this out at FLDC22.camp, and I also have my code is available at GitHub mherschel FLDC22. So let's kind of walk you through the like kind of what it looks like from the end user right here. So when you hit submit a session, it takes you just to this basic page right here, and then it takes you to a node add form right here. So at this point, you can register by creating an account. In this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and log in with a current account right here. So right now I'm logged in with something that with an account called Speaker. That's just a demo account right here. So I'm going to the speaker role has the permission to create a speaker session node. So I can just hit test, select my audience, select a category. I do have to kind of select the speaker here. I would love to have that be automatic, and at this point I don't have any options in here. I should probably just kind of hide this right here from this particular role, but in this particular case I'm just going to go ahead and hit save, and at this point I have my information. I have the session submitted up here, and it'll even show up right here. You can see there's a little detail element, stuff like that. And so let's kind of take a look at that. Let me go ahead and log out. I'm going to log in. So it all starts, of course, with a content type called session. And if we look at the fields of this, we have a couple different things. You know, we have an audience field, which is an empty reference in taxonomy. We have a description field. We have a little checkbox to say, is this training? We can also assign room and time slots right here. The room is a taxonomy reference also, as is the time slot. So let's just kind of show you what the form looks like when you can kind of see everything right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add content, and I'm going to go ahead and hit session, so you can kind of see that under admin's functions on here we have a couple extra options, and we have some time slots, and we have some rooms. So there's some cool stuff going on right here with the taxonomy references, especially the time slot. So let's kind of look at that. So I'm going to go under structure, and I'm going to look at taxonomy. You can see the taxonomy vocabularies that we have right here. So in this particular case, let's go ahead and look at the time slot. So I'm going to hit edit vocabulary right here. So the first thing that you're going to see right here is we actually add a date field onto this. So taxonomies are references, and I think 888 and above. So we can add a date time in here, and the field type is a date range, because so this time slot has a start and an end right here, right? And when you add this in here, so let's go ahead and add a term in here. You're going to see that we don't have a title or anything in here. You just go ahead and select what you want from these drop downs right here. And I'll tell you in a second why we're using the drop downs as opposed to like an actual date picker and stuff like that. We also have the entity. I think it's a module. It's like entity automatic label or something like that, or entity label or something. I forget what it is. And we automatically generate the title right here. You can generate the title via tokens, and this is just useful so people don't have to type things in twice. This is just kind of a user experience type thing right here. So, because when I want to create the time slot, I don't want to have to type in it at the top too. So one of the reasons that we're using the drop downs as opposed to a date picker is because when we flip the site for next year, at this point what we can do is we can just change, the dates right here, change the date right here, and at that point hit save, and it's kind of done. We don't have to go ahead and hit the date button, hit the next button to go to the next year, all that type of stuff. So that's pretty neat. So anyway, we create the reference with that, right? So this page isn't actually going to show up right here, but that's interesting. So on top of that, what other fields do we have? We have just a room. Rooms are just like a simple text field right here. And yeah, so I guess we can talk a little bit about scheduling right here. Um, oh, yeah, there's a couple different things. So we have like the accepted, and let's go ahead and show you this again. So I'm going to go to content, add content, and session, and you can kind of see we have proposed, accepted, and rejected. And these are all part of the core workflow module right here. So we have a session acceptance workflow, and at that point we added a couple extra things in here. We added proposed, accepted, and rejected. The default state is proposed, so when it comes in as proposed. And when it does sessions, or when we accept, um, we can transition it into here, and we reject, we transition it into here, and we can do some particular actions right here. And in this particular case, we're using a module called Workbench Email. And Workbench Email allows us to actually define um, these email templates right here. So we have an email template for session accepted, session rejected, etc. And you can kind of see that right here. Hopefully you get the session accepted because I want you to submit a session. And then we have so schedule day one. So the schedules will look like this, right? We don't have everything scheduled out except for the day one, which is the training. So you can kind of, I can show you this view a little bit, but I want to go a little bit more into depth of it in another little we call it video thing. But we have a session schedule right here, and so we're doing like a lot of grouping right here. So if you go in here, we're grouping by the time slot. So you can see we're outputting fields right here, but we output the time slot field, and then we output the rendered entity in just like a teaser view mode, and then we have themed as a details element. And then we have some filter criteria that filters it and, to a certain date. And then we have the sort criteria, and it kind of just shows up, and we have different displays for day one, day two, day three. Whew, that's a lot of site building, but the cool part is everything I showed you is in Drupal core with the exception of the Workbench email and that entity auto label module. Let's see what that is. I think it's called entity auto label. Yeah, automatic entity labels. And then Workbench email is this. Yeah. This theme that you're seeing right here is the Gen admin theme. So yeah. I hope everyone comes to Florida Drupal Camp. Florida Drupal Camp's the 18th through the 20th of February in Orlando, and session acceptance is currently open. Thank you.